Welcome back to I Bought Toys Today, where we talk about the toys we bought. As always, I'm John,
I'm Cohan.
and I have bad news. It's going to be a real short episode today because I did not buy any toys. So I don't really know why I'm here.
Well, and I don't know if this is good news. I bought lots of toys.
That's right, folks. It's the all-Cohan extravaganza.
Yeah, over the last several weeks, I hit up local toy shop around me, Applejack's Toys. I went about 3 weeks in a row to three different toy fairs. I wound up at Toy Hio. I wound up at the Mansfield Toy Show, and then I wound up at the Neotech, which is the Northeastern Ohio. Oh, I can't remember what it stands for. I feel horrible about that. Anyway, it's a group of, on Facebook, and they do gatherings. I've never been to one. I've wanted to go for one for months now, and for some reason or another, I just couldn't make it to one. And my buddy Mike always goes to them, and I was able to make it to this one. And I scooped up a couple things there as well. And I've got some other little odds and ends to talk about. But yeah, I have a pile to go through. So
I got nothing. So I'm going to politely smile and nod for the next who knows how long, um, because I've been warned that this is a pile. It's Cohan has been hoarding nuts for the winter, um, and he's going to haul them all out and show them to us today.
yes, I
It's
am.
a whole winter's worth of toy haul. Um, so let's get this show on the road, Cohan.
All
Amaze
right.
me.
Well, I will start with a toy I didn't buy recently, but much like the last episode, I've had for quite some time, and finally decided, you know what? Much like the other one, I'm going to unbox them, and that would be the Super Seven Snake Eyes. And like I unboxed Duke, I said, you know what? I think Snake needs to be unboxed. Not only was it Snake Eyes, of course, you got his good buddy Timber, and again, just fun looking figures like straight out of the cartoon. Um, Came with his little radiation. See, I don't know if you can see that little Cobra canister that he has in the cartoon, and But I decided to finally unbox him, and he needed to be. Another figure I picked up, really have been looking and deciding, hemming and hawing on picking this one up, but for the price I got him, it was great, and it's one of John's favorites. Yep, there he is. There's the Alley Viper. Yep, still in box. John and I have been going back and forth, hemming and hawing on my side about whether to open this guy or not. And as you see, I have not yet, and I'm still hemming and hawing about it.
Finally, your collection is complete.
I need no more. And I mentioned him on the last episode, but I didn't have him yet because he wasn't. I hadn't gotten him yet, but I got his buddy, and that would be one Dreadnought Buzzer. I got Ripper, and I finally scooped up Buzzer. His glasses fell off as I picked them up. I know some people have complained about the glasses being removable. I dig that they're removable. Obviously, fragile, small, and easily breakable. But I dig them. I dig that you can see them without them. Does it really add anything? Maybe not. But I like the fact that you can remove their glasses. He came with a great bunch of accessories, but I put his iconic chainsaw weapon gun thing. Little buzzer. Torch is due out soon, and I'll have the trio of dreadnoughts. And eventually, like I said, I really should probably pick up a Zartan. might be worth it. So,
are you interested in? Didn't they make like a blue Zartan?
Yeah, he came out originally, and then I think they remade him, and I know they're dropping him or they put him back on a retro card since then. Like that's too many Zartans. I don't know. I'll find which one I want after looking at them and just get, I won't get the retro card one. I'm pretty sure about that because I'll probably unbox him because he'll look good up there with the Dreadnoks all unboxed. But who knows? I'll have to look into that one. I will then dive into. Well, this is just a quick hit. My buddy ordered these, and when they came from Walmart, the package got left out in the rain and they got warped, and so he got a different one, and he gave me the warped one, which I was very appreciative of, because he actually bought me the Han Solo sometime last year, but it's the retro Princess Leia. Card's a little warped, but that's okay. She'll go on my wall. She'll just hang up there. Let's.
Which Leia is that? Is that Hoth Leia?
Hoth Leia, yeah. And I think it's Hoth Han too. The one he gave me. I can't remember, or maybe it's original Han. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's away somewhere. Let's go WWE, shall we? We were just
I like this. I like this serving menu you're creating.
Well,
it's like a nice appetizer of classifieds.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to the salad.
Now, salad being the salad should be it'll be WWE, even though it might be more of a main course. But start with this guy. I almost have a little buyer's regret about picking him up. He wasn't a bad price, but then I realized I probably could have gotten for a few more dollars the complete figure. He's missing a couple accessories, but I haven't seen him and I've wanted him. And it's funny because a lot of these characters growing up watching wrestling I didn't like. I was always like, I like the good guy. He needs to win the battle. And then, more as I got older, particularly I love watching documentaries or watching interviews. I love seeing wrestlers just show up character and talk. I thought it was great. But I got the big man, Yokozuna. His little soft goods robe and his little black and red, black tights with the red belt. They have the chase there, and the chase is the white tights with the black belt. No soft goods on the chase, but he had the salt bucket. This didn't have the salt bucket, and they may have, So I'm missing the salt bucket, maybe some extra heads or hands, but you know how I feel about all that. But I think he'll just look good on my shelf of legends. He's a beefy boy. His big old Yoko.
That's a big one.
Yeah, he's not tall, but he's hefty. Staying with the wrestlers, I scooped up some more. I got some really good prices on these guys too, and it's funny. I scooped this one up, and recently she has just her arm's screwed up. Recently, she has just turned face again, but I got Bailey. She did come boxed. Yokozuna was the only one who didn't come boxed. All these other ones I've unboxed. But it's funny, this Bailey is the one where she turns heel because she comes with a Bailey buddy that's deflated and the stick thing she used to break it. But I thought it was funny because like when I picked her up, I knew I don't know if she had just turned or she was about to turn that week. But I was like, oh no, she's going face, but this is heel Bailey. And so underrated, so underused. She's great. I love Bailey. She's so much fun, and she another person I'll talk about in a little bit. But she understands her character. She understands herself, and she just puts on great matches. Bailey's great, and I think she's going to beat Io Sky at WrestleMania for the title. At least she should, because she needs another run with it. Staying within the women's division, one of my favorites and horribly underused, but at this point she is because she's injured. Had a great tag team going and then got injured. Want to take a guess?
No.
Okay. Sonya Deville.
Yeah, okay.
I love Sonya Deville. I think she's great. I mean, the stalker thing she went through a couple years ago, and then her teaming up with Chelsea Green, and then she gets injured, and then Piper Niven takes over for her. But I think when she's there, she's highly underrated, highly underused, and I loved her as the GM. Like even when my buddies and I play the wrestling game and we play GM mode, she's usually my GM. I love Sonya Deville. I think she's great. I can't explain it. She does a great job. So let me some Sonya. And rounding out the women's division, someone I watched today in the Elimination Chamber replay did not win, but another great character and really coming into her own more and more. Again, recently back from injury. You only live once. Miss Liv Morgan. She came with a soft goods robe, which I find kind of generic. It looks like a white bathrobe, which is odd for her, and obviously an older costume for her based on what she's doing, particularly now. But even when she was teaming with Raquel Rodriguez, but again, she's come such a long way in the ring, and I've watched her a long time, and I really like her too. Just I'm a big fan of I really am a big fan of women's wrestling and how it's developed. And as we were talking, prior, how they put, the Rhea Ripley, that's one I'm searching for next. I need Rhea for this collection because she's just great too. But they're main eventing stuff now. They're main eventing premium live events, not pay per views. But just and they do great in the ring. So
I think over the last year, whenever they have a pay-per-view with like a big gimmick match, an elimination chamber, a Royal Rumble, a War Games, and they have the women's one and the men's one, I think every one of those in the last year, the women's one has been better.
and
They
I
do a
think
better job like using the matches to continue and develop storylines.
yeah.
They're by the time the pay-per-view is over, I think the women's ones are the ones you're still thinking about.
Yeah, and maybe it's because, like we were speaking, right? Like the men's elimination chamber. Those guys are all studs and stars. They're there. The women, not saying they're not. Okay, Becky Lynch, obviously, right? Bianca Belair, obviously,
She's so
were the
good.
two big names in there in that one. Don't just on Becky. But like with Liv and Raquel Rodriguez
I don't say
and
anything about Becky. I said Bianca Belair is very good.
Tiffany Stratton and Naomi, again, they were able to get in there and showcase themselves and tell stories and like you said, tell the storylines, and we see future stories being written based off what happened in that chamber. Where the men's, it was kind of almost, who's going to do what with whom soon, versus we're going to go out there and put on a show. And those women did. I almost said girls. Those women did. And it was great. Scoop this
And
guy up at Applejack's Toys.
I think I'm
I'm sorry.
going to keep piling on. I think if you go back to last year's WrestleMania, I think Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair's match stands up against anybody else's.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
They're
there's
doing
no
great.
doubt.
Yeah. Okay, continue.
Scoop this one up at Applejack Toys. Realized it was a good figure, but then maybe I'm going to have to get another one because of the accessory he comes with. But and I'm not a big guy for this, like the Chase variant version, but this has the sticker that this is the Chase variant. I still haven't unboxed him yet. Don't know if I will or not. He might be a wall figure, but classic 80s, 90s villain, and face it sometimes. One of the best psychological wrestlers and best talkers on the mic. Thoughts, John?
Is it Ted DiBiase?
Close. He has a pet.
Is it Coco Beware?
I said best talker, psychological wrestler.
Is it Jacob Snakeup?
Yes, it is Jacob the Snake Up Roberts, and unfortunately, he comes with the Cobra. I'd rather have Damien. So this is series 13, and I know they've recently made a new version of Jake, I think, with Damien. I'd rather have Damien than the Cobra, but it's still a good figure. And for the price he was at, I couldn't pass him up. And I've been looking for a Jake, and I really didn't even realize it was the Cobra till actually I got him home, and I was like, oh, wrong snake. You know, not that the cobras are bad, but it's it's
Yeah, it's not the iconic snake that you
no,
think of.
it's the iconic snake that bites Randy Savage in the arm, but it's not Damien, right? It's not the end of the match snake. Um, I'm gonna do this one next and save the other one for last. And
Okay.
spoke of this gentleman earlier in earlier shows. Again, I despised him as a kid. Love the backstage stuff. Love the interviews and the documentary about him. The recent one, as recently as last year, recently passed away. Sheiky baby, the Iron Sheik. There's the Iron Sheik I'm looking for. Not his Colonel Mustafa gear. I mean, I almost want the long pants when he teamed with Nikolai Volkov, but this is a great classic Iron Sheik. Look at him. Look at him. He's even got those curled-toed boots. I don't know how well you can see him there. If you can't see him at all, there they are a little bit. But just classic Iron Sheik. Oh, what a great villain! And did you watch the A&E biography on him last year? Oh,
No,
it's
I'm just thinking about how we try to keep this show mildly family friendly, so I don't know how much we can talk about the Iron Sheik.
you can
And
if you go and look at it.
and
The guy was a bodyguard for the Ayatollah, and he fled the country. That's his real backstory.
and definitely remained low key.
Well, yeah, no one knew him. Great.
Yeah.
But I
I
have
just
to say, this next one I've been searching for, got him for a really good price. One that I finally liked. And I just have to say that here's a hint, John. This figure is awesome.
is it Flying Brian Pillman?
Yes. I came to play Cleveland's own The Miz.
Look at that coat.
Look at that coat. Look at his little pointing finger. And I want to take the coat off because he'd pose better, but it looks so good. It's just The Miz in his glory. Another sorely underrated guy. This guy, you ask him what he'll do, and he'll do it. He'll lay down for anybody. He'll do a job. He'll do comedy. He'll do seriousness. And I agree with Simon Miller when I think he and R-Truth are going to win those belts at WrestleMania. I think the awesome Truth is going to defeat the Judgment Day at WrestleMania.
Oh, that'd be great.
So yeah, there's my my little WWE salad.
Not bad.
A little sorbet to cleanse the palate. I found this at the Mansfield Toy Show. They're not Legos, but they pretend to be. They're cheaper Legos, but they make G.I. Joe Legos. And I have the Snake Eyes motorcycle. And for $5?
I've seen these.
$5 or $10? I can't remember what this was. I just picked up a little Sky Striker. A little Sky Striker with Ace. Little Lego Sky Striker with Ace. Which, by the way, I don't know if I've talked about this, but I did buy a real Sky Striker before Christmas.
No, you have not talked about it on the show yet.
Well, I bought the Sky Striker, and it came almost complete. It actually was still, it still had the box. The box is in not good condition. It was
now when you say Sky Striker, you mean an original one?
Yes, 1983.
Not the HasLab one.
No. But I have that one, and it came with the box. And the only thing it's missing one missile, and it's missing the decals. So, as recently as yesterday, look at little ace on his plane. Yeah. As recently as a couple days ago, I did order the replacement decals, and when those come in, I will put that bad boy together and put those decals on. And it's sitting on the flag behind me. You probably can't see it, and I can't move over any other way before I next up over.
We'll take your word for it.
So yeah, I guess we'll stay in the. This is tough. The last three sets I have are kind of nice. All right.
Pick the left one. I got nothing.
Okay, we'll go with this. Yeah, we'll go with this. Okay. So these aren't very good figures, and I only had one when
Those
I
are my
bought
favorite kinds.
years ago. Hold on, let's see if I can see the date on them. When these came out, I only bought one because that was the only one I wanted.
Ooh, you got old stuff?
1986, these came out,
Excellent.
and then reissued in 1992. But from one of my all-time favorite movies, sci-fi movie.
Flash
That is
Gordon.
not Star Wars. I'm sorry.
Flash Gordon.
Yeah, that's yours. No. I got the aliens figures. Well, I got two of them. This is Drake because the sticker is just it's falling out. So it's like that old games you remember you used to do the little marble and try to get back in the spot. So I got Drake. Get out of the way, sticker. So I got Drake, and
I like
the
the
only
old
one I have.
aliens figures. Those were fun.
Yeah, they're not very good, but I like them.
Well,
And the only one I had when I growing up was Hicks, and he's actually sitting on a shelf over here behind me, and he's unboxed. I'm not unboxing these, and I kicked myself because what I got for Drake, I should have just picked up the other ones and completed the Marine set. That's all I want. I don't want the aliens. Maybe the Alien Queen if they made one, they did. I can see by the back, but there's Ripley, Hicks, Apone, Drake, and Bishop, and I have Hicks, but I want to get Hicks in box to join them, and these were not very expensive at all.
oh, very good.
But
Is
he
that
was
Playmates?
not the one I originally. I'm sorry,
who makes those? Is that Playmates?
Kenner.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, they're just fun for me because I love that movie, and I love it's got a KB price tag on it. Originally priced $7.99.
Beautiful.
That has been scratched out, and they wrote 3 for $5.
Wow.
Yeah.
To say most of mine are 3 for $10.
Yeah.
When they do that, so you were getting a deal.
Yeah. So I scooped up Drake, but the real reason I stopped at that booth, and this was at Mansfield as well, was because my all-time favorite character in that film, and actually the guy and I talked. I don't like to haggle. I really don't. But he and I had a discussion because I wanted both of these figures, and together they were too much, and I was like, I'm not paying that. And I said, anything we can do? I wasn't being aggressive. I just said I really want both, but if there's anything we can do, if not, I'm just going to take the one. And he cut me a heck of a deal, and that's why I kicked myself. I should have just scooped up the whole group right there. But this is my favorite character, and as we were talking, he said it. I didn't know it, but he said that this one was never released in the United States. This figure of this Marine, and I was like, really? I didn't know that. And on the back of that card, she's not there, and you can't really see her because there's a sticker, but it's Vasquez, who is Drake's, basically boyfriend, girlfriend in the movie. But Vasquez is my favorite. I love Vasquez. See, on the back here, they have Hudson and Vaz, Hicks, Drake, and some dude named O'Malley, who's not even in the movie. But she comes with this alien, but it was Vasquez, my favorite character. And so I got Drake and Vasquez. And for I think what I got was a great deal. He gave me such a great discount and a lot more than I was expecting, and I was very thankful to him for that. So
can you hold up the back
going to go on the wall
of the card, please?
I'm sorry.
Can you hold up that back side of the card, please?
So I don't know how close you can see.
Right? It just looked like there were a lot of pictures on the back, and I wanted to see if that was like if they'd made 45 different figures in that.
No, they're showing their actions, what they do with all their stuff, good. And then over here, I think are the aliens that they're fighting. Up here's Excellent. Drake. So yeah. And this is the sticker says 10th anniversary. So this came out in 96 is going to be my guess. Also by Kenner. Yeah, 96. Well, this says 86. Copyright, well, Aliens copyright 86. Maybe this came out in 96, yeah. So, but yeah, love
Very
her.
good.
But actually, the figure on the back is different than the figure in the box. On the back, they have her wearing a red shirt rather than the green that she wore in the film. Her shirt's red.
That doesn't surprise me.
So
those product photos are usually taken like I think before stuff's even finalized at times, because they're usually taken with like painted versions of the like big production, you know, models, as opposed to like the actual action figures.
yeah.
So that doesn't surprise me.
So yeah.
Anywho,
Then it
excellent.
happened. It happened. I dove far into the realm of classic GI Joe because
I can't imagine at this point you have. I know GI Joe put out a lot of stuff, but I can't imagine there's that much out there still that you would actually want. Because
that's fair.
I say that because I've seen those dumb shelves right next to you, and I know how much is in there. So don't give me that look as if like I only have a couple GI Joes.
Most of that stuff that was in there is now on there.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm saying that.
Go ahead.
I don't imagine you're out there looking for like Bio Warriors and Space Command and, you know, Street Fighter 2 and all those wacky GI Joes.
No.
Like I've seen your collection. It's pretty good.
Well, thank you. But what I am looking for is, you know, the Slugger. So Thunder can have his tank. And I really, talking to the guy, once again, at the Mansfield Toy Show, talking to this guy, really, really fun guy to talk to, but also very informative and very fair. So when I scooped this, the next vehicle I'm going to show, I'm like, I'm going to buy these together. He he let me know that he's like, I want you to know that this gun is not the original gun. It's one of the repros or came in an accessory, something along those lines. He's like, because it would be a different color. He goes, I just want you to know, I want to be 100% honest with you that this is not the real gun. It's a different,
Nice.
it's not the original. And I was like, well, I appreciate that. And so he had this priced, and I thought very fairly, a lot cheaper than I've seen it other places, a whole lot cheaper. So I scooped the Slugger up, and I've got Thunder sitting over there, and he would open his little tank up, and he'll be sitting in there, and you know, it's got the little Dooflachi in the back, and just great, just great. Go ahead.
I feel like that thing's gun is too big for the vehicle.
Well, it's kaboom.
Yeah, like I don't think that vehicle can handle the recoil off that thing.
Yeah. Well, that's the least ridiculous one I'm going to show you. Well, not the least. That's not the most ridiculous one I'll show you. But then this is a vehicle I never saw, and as he and I were talking, it came out in 2012, which is why I never saw this. But it's basically the Striker that came with crankcase, and if you don't know what that was like the Desert Sand Buggy. It had the big gun on top. Well, this is the ninja version of it, and it has the Arashikage logo, Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. It's got the missile. Comes with a driver. Not sure if that's supposed to be Snake Eyes or not. It kind of looks like him. I mean, who else dresses all in black? But it is complete. It's basically a repaint of the Striker, with some adjustments, like this is a missile up top rather than it being the gun that was there. Some minor adjustments, but I scored this, and like I said, I was buying both those together from this guy, and as he and I were talking, and I thought they were both fairly priced, and I took out the cash and was going to hand him the cash. He's like, whoa. He's like, we can make a deal here. And I was like, what? He's like, we can make a deal. I don't. He's like, well, he basically knocked $5 off the lot, and I didn't even ask for that. Maybe he just enjoyed that my passion for GI Joes. We sat and chatted for a little bit, and just was willing to cut me a deal for. I mean, literally for no reason. I didn't ask. I was here, just take it. But no, very pleasant, very friendly, and so I got those two vehicles to put on. Go on.
Like you have room for them.
Oh, sir. This is why I said I have to clear this bed off so I can unload the flag to reset the flag. Which leads me, I'm going to show you the pieces parts first, and I totally forgot this came with this vehicle until I started messing with it because I got impatient. These two long strips, which I'll explain in a moment, they're just two long strips of plastic, but I'll explain those in a moment. But here is, and I think this was actually the very first vehicle I owned. I think this was the very first vehicle I owned. Maybe next to the Ram motorcycle. But there's the front of it. There's the cover, the windshield. And there's the top of it with its little laser cannon. Still don't know yet?
My first vehicle was a Dodge Dynasty.
I had one of those too, actually. But it is known as the APC.
Is it the APC?
The Amphibious Personnel Carrier. It actually does float. Well, at least it used to. But I got bored and wanted to start redoing it, but I thought, this is a great way. So guess who's in here? You got the Night Force and the Tiger Force in the APC. These little straps, they're the seat belts. That I totally forgot came with it. Totally forgot. But yeah, so I set the guys up. They're hanging out. Frostbite driving, sneak peek, riding shotgun. Duke commanding the Duke back here, commanding the Tiger Force. Falcon over here, commanding the side of the Night Force. About 3 or 4 guys who just didn't fit because all their gear is on them, so they just don't fit. And I'm not taking it all off. So like this would just be parked on the flag, and the other guys might be sitting on a ledge here, maybe standing outside, leaning on, talking to each other. So I got a whole thing going on up here. So yeah, I love this vehicle. It's so simple. I loved how they're like, you can use it as a figure carry-all because like the bumper pulls out and you were able to hold it up. Of course you did that. They'd all just fly down the front of where the windshield goes on. So obviously the windshield and canopy and seatbelts won't go on it, but they'll be on the flag position somewhere as well. So yeah, it's a great vehicle. It's just a lot of fun. Nice. Troop transport. You ready for ridiculous?
Now, will you be picking up a Rolling Thunder and putting that on the flag?
Never had that one as a kid. It's kind of goofy looking.
Oh, I did.
That's what you said. I remember you saying that a few shows ago. So probably not. But there are others I've seen. There are other vehicles I've seen. Well, I got a spot for the whale. Dare we revisit what whale means?
No. Let's just keep going forward.
Yeah. So the last vehicle I scooped
Next dumb vehicle, please.
And one of the dumbest vehicles came with one of my favorite characters.
Fantastic.
And this was complete. The guy gave me a deal on it at Toy Hio. I've got the bag full of stuff I got to put on it. But yeah, it's cross country in the Havoc. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I remember that thing.
This little back opens up and the little flat air drone comes out. This raises, cross country raises up in his seat. The two guys, for some reason, drive with their faces to the, looking down. Because why look out the gigantic window?
Like you do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So yeah. And what's funny is in my tiny pre-brain again, when I look at these vehicles and you're like, they're going to take up too much room. You're not going to. So yes, but I can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can fit 11 guys on this. Not at 12 if you want to count the driver.
I do.
So there you go. So yeah, ridiculous vehicle. Like I said, the parts in here, I got to put it together. But yeah, this will look great on that flag. APC, Havoc, the Slugger, the Ninja Ostriker joins the Frost, the Snowcat, the Polar Battle Bear, the Sky Striker, the Skyhawk, the Wolverine. God, I can't ever remember the Storm Cloud, Grand Slam, and the Laser Cannon. A couple of other small names I can't remember, and there's room for more. Once I get done,
I hope you're writing these all down because there will be a test.
On the names of all these?
I just like how that's supposed to be a military vehicle.
Yes.
So let's put the driver on top of it, totally unprotected.
Yep.
And then 2 people in what is some sort of then extraneous cockpit, where they just lay on the floor.
Well, but there are controls, so they got to do something, right? I mean, they don't just navigate these guns. It's got to be something. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, not the most ridiculous vehicle. This is the most ridiculous vehicle. So yeah,
it's a beautiful machine.
So yeah,
very good.
And this is just icing on the cake. I didn't buy it recently, but it was recently signed. Toy-Hio, Danhausen signed my Danhausen action figure. Look at that. Little, very nice, very evil. Such a good dude. He and I chatted for a little bit. It was funny. I got there late, later in the day. I was there at the opening, and he wasn't even trying to be in character. He was in makeup and everything, but he was talking normal. And he and I chatted for a little bit, and as always, very pleasant, very nice, not evil at all. Just a very nice dude. So I got up there, and I was like, he's like, so what picture do you want me to sign? And I got one signed from him. Was it last year or 2 years ago when you and I went?
It was last year.
Okay. And I said, well, I already have a picture. I'm like, will you sign my figure? And he's like, oh, yeah. And I opened it up, and he goes, what color do you want? And I said, what color do you think will work best? And he's like, white will work best. So you do it up. And he signed it. And he's like, okay, don't close it because it'll smear. Let it dry for a while. So I was walking around Toy-Hio with the damn thing in my hand and my finger between the cover and the signature so it wouldn't smear. And Danhausen signed action figure. Look at nice. Look, that's my pile. That is a pile of toys, sir.
That's your winter haul.
It's my winter haul. That's a good call.
It's not too shabby.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Just good, fun stuff. And now tomorrow, my day is set because the shelves need to be rearranged. That needs to be rearranged. That's going to take a good. I did laundry today. I cleaned today. That's going to take a good chunk of my time.
Yeah, and there's the real reason why we had to record an episode, even though I have nothing to bring to the literal table. It's because Cohan has to rearrange the flag tomorrow. So
yes, I mean, and
here we are.
This bed would have only gotten more crowded, I'm sure, but in the next couple of weeks. I'm sure I'll go toy hunting soon. Why? I don't know, but I'm sure it will happen.
And I mean, it's getting to be toy show season, so.
Mm-hmm. Thoughts on?
You already had Toy-Hio, which is just too far away for me to.
Yeah.
Drive out there.
The Mansfield one was it was fun, and like I said, real nice people. Boy, what they had the most of were Hot Wheels or Matchbox cars. They had tables full of those. Tables. And a lot of old collectibles, like, tin toys and those things like that. Yes, they obviously
I do like seeing those.
What's that?
I do like seeing those.
Yeah.
Like
I never buy
I think they're interesting, but in sort of like a museum kind of way.
them. Yeah, and obviously they had Star Wars and GI Joe and He Man and all that kind of stuff, Funko Pops and what have you. And it was good. It was nice. And like I said, I scored the Alien figures there, and thought I got something. Oh, the Lego Sky Striker. And those two vehicles. Yeah, so I came home with a good load, more than I expected. And like I said, pretty fairly priced, I thought. And then even Toy Ohio, um, there were some things that again I wandered around. I actually I went into Toy Ohio blind. I'm like, what am I really looking for? It was really what's going to catch my eye, and some things caught my eye. So, and like I said, I got a couple of deals on there too, without even asking or checking. And the Neotech thing was great. So yeah, just a good few weeks of just toy hunting, and really with literally toy hunting, just walking in and looking around, and again set up this Neotech is, if you're a member of the group, you get the invite. If you're not a member of the group, you don't get the invite. So it's very private.
Mm-hmm.
They want to keep it small to the only members of this Northeastern Ohio group, and I thought that was
Yeah,
cool. And I
it's the
found
point of the
I
group.
was going to get another figure. Unfortunately, the guy didn't take uh, he didn't take cards, and he's like, well, there's an ATM over there. I'm like, no, I already took enough cash out to come here. I'm not taking it anymore. I have a budget. I'm on a budget, and so because had I bought
And
that
that's the
one,
best part of a show when you spent like almost all of your cash and you're like just casually walking by something, even on your way out, and then you go, "Oh no, what?" I mean, I could get $30 more.
so thoughts
I'll,
on
I'll,
on
I'm
the
gonna.
toys, wrestling wise.
It
What do
was
you think
very
about
good.
my best pickup for wrestlers was?
I think the Bailey and the Liv were very good. Um, I don't know much about Sonya Deville. I'm a Chelsea Green fan though,
I do love
but
Chelsea
I
Green.
don't even think I don't think I knew that they were a team. So that's fun.
I'll be snagging Chelsea's figure when she comes out.
But you got me thinking about how it's going to be a busy month next month because I forget which weekends they are, but there's the just talking about going to shows. I think the Columbus show is like the 10th or the 17th, and then the Ohio show down in Xenia is the weekend after that.
Mm, that is just phenomenal.
I've never been,
It it
so I
is
really want to
worth the
go this year,
drive.
and because I last last episode I talked about going out to Roma Collectibles, and I was talking about all the shows um, with the guy who runs that store because as a dealer he goes to a lot of them,
Mm-hmm.
and I did not realize because I've never been to the Xenia one. I didn't realize how big it actually is because I thought like the Columbus one, down at the fairgrounds was real big,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently it's like a seventh of
Yeah,
the size of the one out in Xenia.
Mike
Um,
Mike and I and his wife and his daughter, we went. Excuse me. About 3 years ago, I think it was.
mhm.
It's overwhelming, and they're
That's kind of what I'm both worried about and looking forward to,
yeah.
and just like walking in and being like, oh man, I didn't wear
Uh
comfortable
oh.
enough shoes, and my my backpack only holds so much.
Yeah. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
room decor that needs done.
Hopefully, next episode it'll be more of a conversation. I have so much on pre-order but it just all refuses to actually get shipped from all over the place. But stuff's coming.
Currently, I have one on pre-order.
It's been a long and oh my god. Do we want to play the game of how many figures can John remember that he has on pre-order?
It's probably about the size of the pile I just showed everybody.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And my pre-order is supposed to show up at my comic book shop, so.
Well, that kind of counts.
Well, he ordered it for me.
I was going to say, that's more of an order than just a pre-order.
Well, this is true. Which, by the way, I went to the comic book store today, as we were chatting about earlier, and scooped up my normal find of my normal haul of Cap, She-Hulk, and G.I. Joe, but also got the back issues of Duke and Cobra Commanders #1 and #2. So I'm excited to read those. And so not only will I be playing with the toys tomorrow and rearranging the toys, I'll be reading some comics, I think.
Well, I mentioned to you that I went to the comic book store last week as well, and I got Night Thrasher.
Yeah.
Because we like what we like.
Yeah.
Consistently. All right. Well, before we just ramble on anymore and create a bunch of footage that I'm just going to have to cut anyway, let's wrap this thing up.
This might be the shortest episode yet.
It's very tempting to just keep the show like this. Then, I don't know if you want to put that out in the universe. But this was your episode, Cohan, so I'm going to make you close it out.
Well, I don't remember how we closed out.
Good night, everybody.
I just know that we say what we're going to do. Well, that's John. And I'm Cohan. And I bought toys today. Who knows what we'll do tomorrow?
Now say good night.
Good night, everybody. Oh! Are we still recording? Do we dare say hit the subscribe button and the notification button and all the Facebook thing or YouTube things? Sorry, I failed miserably. I failed miserably on that. Good night, everybody.